banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best, 'cause it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine, from a place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, Southampton 0, Newcastle United 1. Instant reaction. So we'll jump straight into that in a moment. I'll get into the comments as well. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash the like button. It really does help the channel up the search results. Thank you very much. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so. Helps the channel grow. And also bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. So thank you very much indeed for that. So before we get into the talking points of the game, let's get on to the comments. And William Straighton, he says, one step closer to silverware for the Toon. Semi-finals are only about winning. Yeah, definitely are, mate. And do you know what? I said 2-0, but I'll take 1-0. I'll take a win away from home. It's half time now. We've got only 90 minutes from Wembley, so look forward to next Tuesday now. Luke says, getting in front in the first leg is massive. Yeah, definitely. Southampton won't enjoy coming up to St James's Park, that's for sure. And plenty of talking points, and we're going to get into them very shortly once I get through some of the comments. William says, away goals are great psychological boost. Yes, they are. Yeah, definitely. Lewis, hi Lewis, he says, get in. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Luke says, agree, William. Still work to do, but puts us in a very strong position. Yeah, definitely does. 100%. Ian says, evening again, Tony. Not our best game, but it's a win to take back to St James. Yep, absolutely. A win's a win at the end of the day, and I'll take that win all day. And, and that's the most important thing, taking that back to St James's Park. Paul says, get in, haha, told you Joe Linton would score, didn't I? Yes, he did, Paul. You certainly said Joe Linton would score, and yes, he did. Although, should he have had 2? We'll get into that very shortly, though. Matty Mag, hi, Tony. That shows Wilson needs to be arrested. Have you noticed we are losing the ball far too often on poor passes? It's never been like that under Eddie, and loved Murphy wave to Carwin the red card. Yeah, we're going to get into all this, mate. William says, semi-final adds pressure that could explain a proper performance. Yeah, definitely. Thankfully, it's a second leg we've got to come. Lewis says, thank the Lord for that win when we play them at Yam. Absolutely. Yeah, getting it back to St James's is absolutely fantastic. Rowley says, how are the lads? Great win, but we should have had this tie won. ESM and Isak were immense. They have to start next Tuesday. Hi, Tony. Yeah, I totally agree with you, and obviously we'll get into that as well. Paul says, good match. Should have scored more, but Isak and Maxi look sharp. It's only a matter of time before they both start. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Definitely, 100%. Paul says, Wilson touched the ball a total of 15 times. That's a crazy stat. Yes, it is. Are you putting a link in? No, I'm just doing a match reaction, mate. Nick Pope is excellent, says Paul. Yes, he is. He's fantastic tonight. 100% should have had 2. That ball hit his hip. Yeah, again, we're going to get into that as well. I think he should have had 2, says Ian. Yeah, absolutely. And Lewis says, we could have had 4 or 5. We could have if we'd put the chances away, but we didn't, did we? So that's as far as it goes on that. But, you know, at the end of the day, as I say, a win is a win, and you'll take any sort of win, whether it's 1-0. Even if it was a 95th minute winner, you'd still take it because it's a 1-0 win to take back with you. So that's exactly what you do. So yeah, we'll get into the game anyway. I mean, look, possession wise, we had 56% possession to Southampton's 44%. Dominated the game. First half, we did okay. We played well. Yes, Joe Linton did have that goal ruled out. I'm still baffled as to how it was a handball because, as far as I'm concerned, it didn't hit his hand, it hit his hip. Referee obviously blew the whistle and ruled it out. But come on, VAR. You've got all that technology in front of you. You've got all the different angles. Why didn't Andre Mariner send Stuart Atwell to the monitor and say, look, I think you need to have a look at this. I'm not sure. I don't think this is handball. Can you have another look? And at least Stuart Atwell could have gone to the monitor, had a look at it and thought, oh, hang on a minute. Maybe I've made a mistake here. Maybe it isn't a handball. But this is where VAR's letting people down because they're not sending the referees back to the monitor, and that should have been referred to the referee because if he'd saw that Stuart Atwell, he might have thought, hang on a minute, I've made an error here. But that definitely should have stood in my eyes. That should have stood, and that's not me being biased. I mean, you watch Sky yourself. I mean, if you saw the Sky tonight, I mean, even Francis Benali, who was the ex-Southampton player, even he said that should have stood, that goal at half-time along with Ferdinand and Shea Given. But yeah, other than that, I mean, so we went in at 1-0, sorry. I mean, Southampton had their fair share in the first half of the ball. I mean, Alcaraz, he got himself booked in that first half. He looks a bit of a fiery character, and he got sent off the other week for Boca Juniors, didn't he? So I wonder how many red cards he'll get in the Premier League. That's going to be very interesting. But second half, we came out, but it was like for that first 20 minutes that second half, it was all Southampton. They were really going at us. And you were just sort of thinking it's one of these games. Are we actually going to score? Are Southampton going to score this and beat us here? And it just looked at times. I mean, thanks to Nick Pope. I mean, he's pulled off some great saves tonight as Nick Pope. I mean, for people laughing at us buying Nick Pope for like 10 or 12 million, whatever the fee was. I mean, what a bargain that guy's been. An absolute bargain. And he should be England's number one in my eyes. But I thought he had a terrific game. I thought Bruno was terrific all over the field. Absolutely brilliant everywhere. Joe Linton, finally got his goal. I thought Callum Wilson was poor again. I'm sorry. Do you know what? I like Callum Wilson as a player, and I'm not criticising him or pushing him down or anything, but I think he has to come out of that team now, Callum Wilson. He did nothing for me in that game. That first half, he was anonymous. He just done nothing at all. And I just thought, he needs to come off. And then when the one about ESM coming on, and I thought, well, where's Isak? Why? And then all of a sudden he was mentioned. Wilson, when he got taken off, didn't look happy. But I'm sorry, Callum, if you're not playing well, you're going to be brought off, and you've done nothing in the game, not a thing. And, 15 touches says it all. As I think it was Paul who said 15 touches he had in that game. That's not great from a striker. I think going forward now, I think Willock had a poor game tonight as well. I mean, he blazed a couple of shots well over the top. Sean Longstaff hit one over, but I thought Sean Longstaff played well tonight in that middle with Bruno. But, I think it's time Wilson now and Willock both come out that team next week. And I think next week you start ESM and Isak. because they made a difference when they come on. You know, I mean, St. Maximum got in there running and, twisting and turning. And then Isak, I mean, what, look at the pace he had. I mean, he's just come back, but the turn of pace and to put that ball in for Joe Linton on the plate, I mean, Joe Linton couldn't miss, could he? Well, he could, but he couldn't really. And when that went in the back of the net, it was like, yes, thank God for that. We've got the goal. And Joe Linton scores. And then within a couple of minutes, they get an equaliser, Adam Armstrong, and then he runs off celebrating. And you think, hang on a minute, this is your old team. Surely you should have some respect for your old club and not celebrate. And I thought, well, have your little moment. And then I thought, oh, hang on, there's a VAR check coming up now. And it was clear handball. Sorry, it was clear handball. I don't care how much Adam Armstrong remonstrates to the referee when the goal was disallowed. It's a handball. And I'm glad because that wiped a smug little smile off his face. I mean, a Geordie boy like that, yes, he was sold from the previous regime. Not this regime, the previous regime sold him. And to act like that when he scored, I'm sorry, that's karma, and it's come back and it's bit you in the arse big time, mate. And yeah, and I'm glad he didn't get that goal because, like I say, it just took that smug look off his face. But I mean, we had chances. Isak got around the keeper, but I think fair dues. I think Bazunu got a hand to it a little bit. But yeah, we need to sort the goal scoring out a bit. I mean, it is a concern in some ways. We are creating. The good thing is, though, we are creating the chances. So that shows you how well we're actually doing as a team. We're creating chances. It's just putting them in the back of the net. If we start putting them in the back of the net again, we'll be blowing teams away. But the chances are there. It's just getting them in the back of the net. And yeah, but let's see what's happening. But overall, I thought, it's one of those tight little games, and it's a proper semi-final. It was end to end. It was a very open game. But all in all, I mean, two players could be man of the match. Pope, Bruno. I've gone Bruno man of the match because I thought Bruno was absolutely fantastic tonight. I mean, his fellow Brazilian, that defender for Southampton, Lianco. I mean, when he pulled down Bruno and then he started off with a fight, I just thought, what on earth, And then he's walking away from the referee and, just trying to be a dick. And sorry, Lianco, you are getting booked for that regardless. And then there was a foul on St. Maximum from Seleta Carr, and he picked up his second yellow card, and rightly shown, and rightly so, sent off. And it was a sending off because it was a yellow card offence. Because if not, Maxi was through. Maxi would have been through on goal. Whether he would have scored or not might have been a different matter. But the fact is, he was through on goal. And yeah, but overall, I'm pleased with a 1-0 win. It's another clean sheet. Yes, okay, VAR choked it off. If there was no VAR, that would have ended up a draw. But yeah, overall, greatest performance tonight. Not the best game, but we ground out a result and we got the win. 1-0 win. That's the most important thing. We've got to win. We've got the away win. We take it back to St James's Park next week. And we've got a full week of training now because we got no FA Cup this weekend. So Eddie Howe will have them on that training ground. And he will be starting and making sure that team start putting them chances away. And if we start converting them chances, we will be winning by more than 1, 2 or 3. We could have probably, if we converted half them chances tonight, we probably would have, like Lewis says, we probably could have scored 4 or 5 tonight quite easily. So, yeah, I mean, are we looking tired as well? I mean, because, we are a hard working side, and that's the thing. We only had a game Saturday and we're playing again today, Tuesday. So, were the team looking a bit lethargic? Maybe. But we can't use that as an excuse, I suppose. But then, but onwards and upwards, and we're only 90 minutes from Wembley, guys. 90 minutes, that's all we are from a Wembley Cup final. And and as for Fabrizio Romano says, I'm sure we'll be busy this week in the transfer market. I'm pretty certain of that. Let's hope we are anyway. I'll just get into some more comments now. Isak, GOAT. Yeah, he was brilliant when he came on, Isak, wasn't he? He looked up for it, didn't he? Full of energy. And so hopefully he starts next week. Paul says, I thought Pope was man the match daylight. I know Bruno got it, but he gave the ball away so many times it wasn't his best game for me. Yeah, he gave it away a few times, but I thought Bruno played all right. I thought he was quite. I thought he had a good game, to be fair. That's why I give Bruno my man the match. Maxi now passing the ball and not keeping it to himself, which is great to see, Tony. Yeah, he is. He's passing it all over the pitch. I mean, he's doing really well now. Maxi looks a totally different player. And did he look more committed tonight because we've had a cheeky bid from Nottingham Forest for him? Who knows? But overall, yeah, Maxi keeps on playing like that. He'll keep his place in the team, that's for sure. But I think it's time for Willock and Wilson to have a rest. As I say, Wilson was anonymous, to be fair. Paul says it was an even game looking at the stats. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was an evenish game. I mean, we had, like I say, 56% possession. They had 13 shots, we had 15. They had 4 on target, we had 3 on target. They had 4 corners, we had 1. They had 11 fouls to our 7. So yeah, as Paul says, it's pretty even, those stats. And he also says, I think ASM goes on to score if he wasn't brought down. Yes, he does, definitely. Or at least work the keeper. Yeah, says Longstaff's a workhorse but lacks the quality. Time to drop J7 into midfield and start ASM. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Bia. I think what we need to do is next week, Wilson needs to come out of that team for Isak, and Willock needs to go on the bench, and in comes ESM, because Willock's had a couple of, it hasn't played the best, has he really? And he looked a bit lacklustre today, if I'm honest. Trolls says, get in, how are you the lads? Absolutely, Trolls. And he says, evening all, evening Tony, evening Trolls. Paul says, seemed to be every time we broke, they fouled us, dirty team. Yeah, they were just breaking up play, weren't they? And I tell you, I thought I had a good game for Southampton tonight, and it was a player we looked at, but we didn't buy him, and that was that Seko Mara. I thought he had a good game for Southampton tonight, and he caused us a few problems. And because I was quite surprised when Southampton got him, to be fair. Asherton says, have to admit we were giving the ball away so much today. Yes, we did. Absolutely. We gave the ball too much away. Sefton's in the house. He says, it's a long way to Wembley Stadium. It's a long way to go up the mighty tune. Yeah, definitely, Sefton. And, we're not that far away from Wembley now, are we? 90 more minutes. And do you know what? It's going to look really good when we get to the Wembley Stadium and the final. It's clearly no handball from front view. No, Ashington, I totally agree. It was never a handball. And to be fair, I don't know how they, they've give that as handball. Because to me, that was never ever a handball in my eyes. I mean, how on earth you give that is. I mean, yes, it was close to his arm, but it didn't hit his arm. It hit his hip. That's where it hit. And to me, that should have stood that goal. I just don't know how it. I just don't know how the how VAR's come to that conclusion that that Joe Linton hit it with his arm, because what else is he supposed to do? Plus, his arm's down by his side. It's not like his arm's in an unnatural position either. So, I'm just beggars belief. But again, it's Andre Mariner. And remember back to Liverpool, Andre Mariner, he done us over there, didn't he? Remember when he kept playing extra time when there was no need for the extra time? And yeah, but what I'll do, guys, I'm going to just bring this up a minute. So just bear with me and I'll bring this up on screen. Now this is the incident in question, Joe Linton. Right, so you can see that now, guys. But I mean, if you look, the ball, yes, it's close to the arm, but it's not on the arm, it's hit the hip. So I think basically Southampton got away with one there because that should never have been disallowed. And yeah, I mean, even Ferdinand said it should have stood. Shea Given said it should have stood. Even Francis Benali said it should have stood. So I just don't know what Andre Mariner's looking at there. I really don't. It was never ever handball in the first place, but I thought I would share that anyway. Troll says, yes, back to Max Fitness tonight. Looked awesome in my opinion. Yeah, he looked sharp when he came on, didn't he, Maxie? Ashton says, was that player who got sent off a good player for Southampton or not? Shaletta Carr. Yeah, he played in France. Was it Marseille he played at? He's not a bad centre half normally, but we just made him look ordinary. Mame says, great win for us. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Ashton says, Nick Pope saved the game. It has to be man of the match. Yeah, I mean, Nick Pope had a great game, didn't he? Alan says, I agree. Paul Bruno wasn't on top of his game tonight, but was okay. I'd love to see Wilson and Isak start together and Maxi to replace Willock. Wasn't a good night for the latter, Tony. No, I didn't think Willock had a great game, to be fair, and I didn't think Wilson did, if I'm honest. I think Wilson looks off the pace at the moment, and I think Wilson just needs a rest. I think keep him on the sidelines and just start Isak in front of Wilson, because Wilson needs to maybe have a little bit of bench time, which may then perk him up to when he comes back to starting again. Manu before we bought Pope. Manu today. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't know if people saw, but earlier on there's some news broken that Mashiri, who owns Everton, has put them up for sale, and he wants £500 million for Everton. He wants £500 million for Everton. Where does he think he's going to get £500 million for a club that are struggling, second bottom in the Premier League? He's probably looking at ours and thinking, well, how are we getting 300 million? But that's a different matter, because this fee was already agreed. And not only that, you know, they were buying a bigger club than Everton. Oh, sorry, but we are a better club than Everton. Better run as well. Ashton says, Isak and Pope saved the day. What a setup Isak created for Joe Linton. Yes, he did. Absolutely 100%. William says, congrats, Tony, to see 732 on the preview tonight's semi-final, this cup run, helping you expand the channel to the wider public. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's, you know, I get fans from different, different clubs coming on, and I've had a few of them subscribe, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, it's absolutely great, and it just means the channel grows. I've only had this channel going since October 2022, so I've only been going 3 months, and yeah, it's grown well, and it's onwards and upwards. I was urged by viewers, because I'll normally be on another channel, but I looked after that channel for a week, and I had all the viewers on John Sinclair keep asking me, why don't you have your own channel? You should have your own channel. And I just thought, do you know what? I'll take the plunge and I'll do it. And I'm glad I have done it, because my passion's Newcastle, and I just love to bring my passion to the viewers, and that's exactly what I do. And anything to do with transfers, I always state these transfers are rumours until they've actually signed for the club. When you see official from the club with a shirt, when they're holding the shirt up or have the shirt on, stand at St James's Park, that's when you know it's official. But as I say, anybody that's linked with a club, like if it's Anthony Gordon, Matthias França, whoever, I always say it's a rumour until it's officially announced by the club. There are too many people out there who think they're an ITK in the nose, when technically they know nothing. Half these in the nose out there always go out and about and saying, oh, this player's come, that player's coming, and you get a whole load of fans going, wow, okay, we're getting this player, and then the player doesn't turn up. Why do you want to put yourself in that position? Because I wouldn't want to put myself in that position. I state facts, not fiction, and that's what I always stick to, facts, not fiction. Isak and the ESM was incredible in my opinion. Yeah, they were absolutely brilliant when they came on. They changed the game. Alan says, great result, good lead at half time in the tie. Please, we are still creating lots of chances. Isak looks good to start the next game. Yes, he does, Alan, and I hope he does, because he does really need to start. Ashton says, Wilson's great, but he does need a rest, I think. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does absolutely need a rest, Wilson. He just looks off the pace for me. I don't know what anybody else thinks, but I think he looks just off the pace. And he has for a few games. Sefton says it was 2-0 to us. Disallowed goal, ridiculous. Yeah, it was. And I mean, I still don't get why the referee's looking at that, or the VAR referee in that fact. They asked Bruno this after the game, did he see it? And Bruno said, well, not really, because everything happened so quick and I haven't seen anything, so I can't comment. Ian says, totally agree about Willock and Wilson. Yeah, absolutely. Toon Revival, hello to you. He says, Newcastle have to seriously go and get quality. Buy Terrier from Rennes. They would sell him. He knows how to cut in and score. Can't see Gordon doing better than Saint here, so waste the cash by proving. Yeah, he got a good point there, but Terrier did sign a new deal last year, so I'm not sure if they would let him go. Ashton says, Willock was missing easy shots. Joe Linton missed such an easy shot at one point. Yeah, he missed a sitter. Longstaff was giving the ball away as well. Yeah, he did a couple of times, but I thought Longstaff had a good game, if I'd be fair. Joe says, all right, Tony, absolutely buzzing. We got the advantage like coming to St James's on Tuesday. Yeah, we did. We needed the win, and that's what we've got. And the thing is, so tomorrow night you've got the other semi-final, Forest and Man United. It won't be easy for Man U, as I said on my show earlier. It won't be easy for Man U. I wouldn't be surprised if Forest turned them over, because I don't think Man U will play a strong side either, because a lot of their players will be shattered from Sunday's match against Arsenal, because that was a grueling game. Saint is way better than Gordon, says Trolls. Yeah. Gary says, I'm just wondering, when Callum went to the World Cup and did not get any game time, could it have knocked his confidence a bit, Tony? I'm not sure. To be honest, Gary, I mean, he did set up that goal for Isak, didn't he, against Fulham the other Sunday, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's just something not right with Callum Wilson. He did have an illness, didn't he? But yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know what's up with Callum Wilson. But hopefully we can just stick him on the bench for a couple of games, give Isak a run, and then you can bring Callum Wilson back into the team maybe, and make Callum Wilson work for his place. Toon says, you're right, Tony, we are creating chances, but it's a quality in the final third, which ESM and Isak proved they have. Yeah, definitely. They looked sharp tonight when they came on. Neil, hi Neil, hope you're well. He says, we can't score for Toffee. Lucky tap-in, missing schoolboy sitters, what's going on? That's the question. What is going on? I mean, why are we missing all these chances? We need to start putting these chances away, and if we start putting these chances away, we'd win games a lot more comfortably, that's for sure. And we just need to make sure that we are putting these chances away in the back of the net. Mighty Max says, Tony or anyone know if the Car red card stands for the home game, or is he just banned for the FA Cup? I would think it'll be next week's game, because I think in the FA Cup, I think it's totally different, isn't it? It's not like league, because didn't people get mixed up when Trippier got a booking, I think, in the FA Cup game and said, oh, he's going to miss you'll miss the next game. But no, it's because that was Premier League games. So I think it's totally different. So no, I don't think Seleta Car will be available next Tuesday. I could be wrong, but I don't think he will be. Just agreed with you, by the way, Toon Revival. Sefton says Newcastle went to Wembley 2023 on Cup Final day. Newcastle played with all their might. We painted Wembley black and white. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I think it's going to be great if we're going to Wembley, because we'll take over London, that's for sure, guys. Best moment apart from the goals, Murphy waving him off the pitch. Yes, that was absolutely hilarious, wasn't it, when Murphy waved him off the pitch? I mean, shithouse real his best, shall we say, guys? But yeah, that was just fantastic, wasn't it? Ashington says, notice team tactics are being dirty and trying to foul us or pull us over whenever we get a chance to go through. Generally, they know we will win, otherwise still don't like that type of play. No. And you can tell it's a typical championship manager they've got as well. Troll says, with Isak in the ASM from the start, I think we would have scored 2 or 3. Yeah, maybe we would have. William says, Isak injury-free will score plenty in this team. Is a squad depth, there's enough. If not, surely January is a time to sort it. Yeah, I've got to agree with you, William. And I'd like to think the owners are looking at it now, and they'll look to sort it out this month. And let's hope that's the case. We've got a week now, so any deals to get done can be done in a week. Red card just for the League Cup, Mighty Mag. Yeah, I thought it was, but I just wasn't 100%. Stevens in. Hi, Stephen. He says, Isak and Maxi brilliant when they came on, but should have been on earlier. Eddie Howe needs to sort this out, but our style could lead to burnout. Yeah, that's another good point as well. Maybe they should have come on a lot earlier, but they came on and we got the job done, and that's the main thing. A win is a win. Red card for that dirty tackle on Ward Miggy, like. Yeah, I mean, they were just putting the tackles in, weren't they? It was just ridiculous. Paul says scarce for the next match. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be the thing as well on Tuesday. Yeah, that'll be absolutely brilliant. Look at how Maxi was the first person who stood up for Bruno. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Matthew, hi Matthew. He says most clean sheets of any club in the top 5 European leagues and all competitions. Yeah. That's it. We just keep keeping clean sheets. Our defence is so strong. That's the thing. The back line's strong. It's the forward line now needs sorting. That's insane. Pike says, Toon says, I'm hoping we can loan Ziyech. He has the quality to break teams and score outside the box. Yeah, but there is talk of I'm going to Barcelona, isn't there? Alan says that's the way it should work. Isak and the SM played better, changed the game and keep their place. Yes, they should do. I totally agree with you on that one. Maybe Mara tried to audition for us tonight. Yeah, I doubt it very much. Willock over the bar shot was a carbon copy of Chris Woods over the bar. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It looked exactly similar, didn't it? Ashton says Isak and the SM need to start. Had quite an impact on the game. Yeah, they did. Totally agree. Troll says amazing we won in a away League Cup semi-final. Yeah, it is. It's great. It was great to have that tonight, wasn't it? That win, and you know, a win's a win at the end of the day. And as I say, you don't care how you get it as long as you get the win. That's the most important thing, because now Southampton's under pressure because they've got to come to St James's Park and beat us, and we've not lost there all season. So, yeah. Toon says I've got my seat for Wembley. Either way, I'm employed there, so I'm set and don't have to work it. Oh, excellent! That's a nice one, mate. So you're all settled. That's brilliant. Andrew says, cracking cup tie, really? Yeah, it was, Andrew. Oh, you've changed your thing again, Andrew. Yeah, it was. It was a cracking cup tie, and yeah, it was end to end, wasn't it? A very open cup tie. He says he slightly moved his arm towards the ball in the vid. That's why it's disallowed, in my opinion. Are you on about the Joe Linton one or Armstrong? But I still think the Joe Linton one was harsh. Yes, it was 5 minutes extra time. You went 3 minutes over that. Yeah. Chris says, evening Tony, great match. Yeah, evening Chris, it was, wasn't it? A cracking match. But do you know what? We've got 1 foot in that final. Ashton says Everton's worth 100 million. They're not worth 500 million, that's for sure. Don't know where he's getting that idea from, Bashivi. Wilson's lost it. Injuries done him no good. Willock had a bad night. I thought Jason was outstanding. He's all over Grafton. Yeah, he looks a different player now, doesn't he, Joe Linton? And yeah, I just think, yeah, he's just immense, wasn't he? Just a shame he missed a sitter, but he made up for it, didn't he, by getting the goal when Isak laid it on a plate for him. So it was absolutely brilliant, that. So well done to Big Joe. I'll offer a pie and a pint for Everton, says Andrew. Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, I still don't get how Everton's worth £500 million. I'm sorry, they're not. They're not worth that. No chance whatsoever. Unless he's trying to recoup the money for the players. Troll says selling Everton won't be hard when they are in the middle of building the stadium. Yeah, they are, aren't they? Ashton says I'll offer Jamal Lewis and Matt Ritchie for Everton's. Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it? Wouldn't want Everton in any way, shape or form, no. In the nose, more like in the nose, says Ashton. Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, there's so many of them out there, and do you know what? I just sit back and they come out with this stuff, and I just sit there on Twitter watching them, and I just laugh at them, and I just think, why are you leaving yourself wide open? Because if it doesn't happen, you're going to get some stick. I mean, there was a journalist on Sky tonight on the transfer centre at 5 o'clock, an Italian, and he said, oh, Enzo Fernandez, he says, because he thought was nailed on to go to Chelsea, and because he hasn't signed yet, he says he's had Chelsea fans giving him stick over it, and message him and saying, he shouldn't tell lies and all this, and it's like, and that's exactly what I'm saying about these people on on Twitter, like these in the nose. They just put stuff out there and leave ourselves wide open. We had one last night where they were saying we were signing Matthias France. That was all done. But today, apparently it's not all done because they turned the bid down. So that's what I'm saying. They don't know anything, do they? But I'd just sit there and laugh. Troll sees even up the nose. Toon says, oh, Tony, some idiot on a show we all know saying 2 senior and 2 youth coming on going about ESM leaving and they need their channels shut down because it's harming fans' morals, little line to them. I'm not sure what channels they are, and obviously don't name channels, but yeah, everybody's entitled to their own whatever they want to do. I mean, if that's what they want to do on their channels, then that's totally up to them. But I know on my channel, I don't do stuff like that. If a player has signed and the club's made it official that he signed, I'll see it on here then. But if he hasn't, then anything that's linked with us, it's a rumour. And that's what it always is. It's a rumour until they're officially a Newcastle United player. Neil says, Tony boy, what a win. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Brilliant. Thank you, Neil. And he says, clear handball for the Armstrong goal. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Definitely. Yeah, ESM's going nowhere unless he moves houses. Newcastle, says Trolls. Yeah, definitely. I don't think you go to Nottingham Forest anyway. No disrespect to Forest. Bet Southampton don't take the full allocation to the away leg. No, I bet they don't. I'll be very surprised if there's 1,000 there. A week's rest will do the players good. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing out there. FA Cup's probably the blessing in disguise we need. and plus it gives Eddie more time to work with the players and get them going. Guys, if you like what you see, I've got 42 watching. Please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do so, helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I'm live, have an upcoming show, or any pre-records as well, guys. So thank you very much indeed. Hang on, just lost my comment there. Gary says, some of these channels make me laugh as they're just a voice talking, claiming to be Newcastle fans. Yeah, I mean, there was one that was on YouTube. So it's like, it was a woman's voice who used to come on and I think they used to call ourselves Newcastle United TV or something like that. And I think Newcastle United themselves got them taken off. And that's something else. I think they call something else now, Newcastle. I can't remember what they are now, but they have little 3-minute videos and they'll claim this player's coming to Newcastle, and you know fine well they're not coming. And you just think, why? It's just clickbait. Sefton says it's written Newcastle Man United final. Do you know, I'd love to have Forest in the final. That would be funny if Forest beat Man United. And remember, City ground ain't an easy ground to go to. Go and ask Liverpool. Well, sorry, Sefton, go and ask your wife, because she'll tell you City ground's not easy. She knows. Chris says, Murphy waving bye-bye at the Coletta car. Class. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, John Sinclair rates Coletta car, but I don't think he's that great. Ashton says, imagine if Chris Wood scored for Nottingham. That would be great, but unfortunately he can't because he's cup tied, because he scored against Tranmere for us. And Andrew said it as well. And Julie says it. Hi, Julie, I hope you're well. She says, hi, all. Ashton says, Callum not seemed right since Eddie said he had an illness. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't look right, so maybe, in a way, that's why I'm saying he needs a rest. Callum Wilson really does need a rest. Kong's in, he says, from that performance in the Man City match, thinks Saints will get out the relegation. Wilson, only 15 touches in the entire match. Think he needs pulled now and Isak to start. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Kong. I'm not sure on Southampton if they'll get out of that or not, but if they do, they've done well. But if they don't, at least they've got a manager ready for the Championship. So, people say hello to each other. Alan says, although we're not scoring lots of goals, Newcastle look really strong in matches. I always feel we're not going to lose. Yeah, we've got that feeling now. We're just going to go out there but not lose games, and that's the thing. That's the whole thing about it as well. We're not losing games, and we're tight at the back. I mean, when was the last time we're ever this tight at the back? It's just absolutely amazing, isn't it? And yet again, another clean sheet for the Pope. Yep. So this guy has another clean sheet, and like I say, what a bargain this guy's been. If there's bargain of the season, this guy's probably up there, along with maybe this guy Sven Botman, because I think he's been an absolute bargain as well. Because he's absolutely been a rock at the back. Yes, he had a couple of dodgy moments tonight, but other than that, do you know what? He's not had many of them, and you can allow for a couple of them as long as they don't lead to any goals. But, you know, this guy's been brilliant. So I'm just getting me comments. William says, throw as many likes as we can here to help Tony out. Thanks very much, William. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Christopher says, I'll take that win, especially to 0, but the missed chances are paying me off a bit. Isak and Maxi made a big difference. They got us on the front again after Southampton looked dangerous. Yeah, they did. They've got to start next Tuesday. GS7-1. Are you doing player ratings? I wasn't going to, no, not tonight I wasn't, but I was just mostly just a reaction to like tonight's game. But I did sort of say that in my eyes, I thought Bruno was man of the match for me, although Pope was very close. I mean, by all means, Who do you think was your man of the match? Get it in the chat, guys. Get it in the chat. Chris says, Joe Linton's miss made Woods at Sheffield Wednesday look difficult. Glad he redeemed himself by scoring. Yeah, that's the difference. You miss a chance, but then you make sure you get the next one. You make sure it goes in the back of the net, and that's exactly what Joe Linton did. Toon says, either way, if we sign Gordon, it's not enough quality finishers needed on those wide positions. If not, Eddie is missing a trick in front of a front. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he is. Yeah, he absolutely is. And yeah, Julie says £10 a can of Red Bull and a packet of Doritos for everything. Oh gosh, yeah, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? But they're not worth that much, are they? Surely you're being nice, too kind to them there, Julie. I thought a can of Pepsi would be enough. Alan says J7's so good, let him off for that miss. Yeah, that's a bit rich, Julie. Keep the tenner. Yeah. Ashton says sick of hearing people saying Gordon deal is done. Yeah, it's not done. No official announcement from the club until the club announce it. That's when you believe it. That's when you know there's signings. When the club officially announces signing, or you see that yellow ticker on Sky, that's when you know we've got somebody through the door. I was asked, am I doing a transfer deadline show? And I said, well, unfortunately, we've got the football on next week, haven't we? So, but I might do the last hour when the match finishes, mixed in with reaction as well. So keep an eye out for that as well, guys. David, hi, good evening to you. So I can't believe in one more game we're going to Wembley. Well, but I believe it, David, because we're nearly there. We've got 1 foot in the final. We're 90 minutes away from Wembley. So if we go into that match next week, get a couple of early goals, we're well on the way, because then Southampton would have to score 4. Because remember, away goals don't count in this competition no more. Chelsea has meant a bit much. Coffee says, hi Tony and all. Hi, I like coffee, hope you're well. Hi to you, Nick. He says Sky Talk drivel. Yes, they do at times, don't they? I mean, yeah. I mean, look at them last night on the Monday Night Football. They're on about like manager of the season, saying, oh, well, Arteta. But no mention of Eddie Howe in this, mind. There's no mention of us at all, because they don't want to mention us. That's the problem. They don't want to mention us. You have a point there, Trolls. Ali Coffee says, we won, but my anxiety was through the roof until ESM and Isak come on. Yeah, I mean, gosh. But at least we got the win. Great to see Shea and Big Les in the Sky Sports studio, says Christopher. Yeah, definitely great to see them too. Pope saved us twice immensely. Southampton are no mugs and their league position is false. Yeah, you're probably right, to be fair. Mighty Max says, Tony NUSC's just released a video of players coming off the pitch. Wilson didn't look happy. Murphy making a mad smiley face. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Wilson. Wilson just does not look happy, does he? So I don't know. Toon says, even the Anthony Gordon transfer, that's an Ashworth buy, not an Eddie buy. And I prefer Eddie signs, to be fair, since Ashworth came in. We failed more signs. I mean, we don't know that. But we'll have to see what happens anyway. And he's not signed yet, so we'll just have to wait and see. Sefton says, Mrs. Sefton on her birthday celebrating with gin and tonic and Warwin. Nice one. Yeah, make sure she has a nice birthday. Happy birthday to Mrs. Sefton as well. If I didn't say it earlier, I've said it now. Gary said, I'd love it if Nottingham Forest turned them over. Yeah, do you know what, Gary? There's a possibility, because the City Ground ain't an easy place to go to. I'm beginning to worry about Eddie hesitating making substitutions earlier when we clearly need them. Well, he did try to get them on, but the ball didn't go out of play for quite a long time, so that's the reason why they didn't get on quickly. I'm so happy after that I could even give Gordon a chance, says Andrew. Nice one. And Toon says, if Man U win the cup, you know the place goes to the team that finishes 8th in the Prem, so not us as runners-up. Yeah, that's what normally happens, isn't it now? Well, hopefully we win the cup, not Man U. Kong says they were mainly due to slips with Batman. Yeah, they were. Pope's answers Newcastle's prayers, says Chris Bank. Do you know what? Chris never ceases to amaze. He always comes up with a great joke and a comment, and yeah, fantastic, mate, fantastic. We'll be in the top 8. Yeah, let's hope we are, Andrew. Anyway, say Shane. To think the fans said that they want Maxi out made to look like mugs now. Yeah, they are definitely. I mean, yeah, that's it. People who wanted Maxi out. I mean, he come on tonight. Look at the game. He changed the game. Him and Isak, and I think given a run of games, Maxi gets back to his best. There's no better player to have on your team than having Maxi, is there? So, absolutely. Mark says, Bruno said Pope is the best in the world right now. I'd not argue with that. No, definitely not. I saw that on the Sky just before I came live. Yeah, I mean, Pope's been fantastic. How he's not England number 1, I do not know. Maybe Southgate might start taking more notice now since T-Rex is sitting in the relegation zone with his team. Ian says, I like coffee, I agree. Leaves it late. He says, Coffee says, I'm glad Joe Linton made up for the miss earlier, but hitting the ball low. Yeah, he kept it down this time. Ashton says, Pope for me. Andrew says, J7 man the match. Pope for Kong. I like Coffee. If that was Wood, he would have missed that Isak pass again. Yeah. Knight says, again, not much to do, but made some amazing saves and sweeping actions. Yeah, he did. Eddie was asked about it. He gave nothing away, says Julie. Yeah, that's Eddie all over. He doesn't give anything away, does he? I'm just worried that if this was Man United, the misses would cost us, but they would punish us with the form they're in. Yeah, but thankfully we weren't playing Man United, and it could have been a totally different game if we were playing them anyway. Mark said, I've noticed every team we play leaves it a bit on Bruno, and now it's done about it. Both goals right to be disallowed for me. Yeah, I mean, I thought the first one was a bit harsh, but maybe on reflection did clip his arm. But as for the Bruno thing, like you say, yeah, it's about time they came down, and it's about time they came down hard on these players. Gary says, the link I was watching must be in sports. Nice one. Was it Richard Keys, was it? And Andy Gray? William says, you're not a here we go kind of man, Tony. No, I mean, if you're talking about transfers and things like that, no. If we're linked with players, yes, we'll have a look at players we're linked with. We'll look at their strengths and weaknesses and see what they're like, and and we'll talk about them. But until they're actually signed, there's no way I would put myself in that position to say that, oh, by the way, this guy's going to come into the club, and fine, well, he might not come into the club, because things happen. Transfers can fall through. They can fall through for many reasons. Personal terms, transfer fee. They could have something on their medical, and when they're having their medical, and it could be, oh, hang on a minute, no, you failed your medical. So that's what I'm saying. Until they're actually standing in St James's Park, or it's officially announced on the club website, that's when you believe when a player is signed. Alan says, yes, won't get away with missing chances against Man United. Now is the time to miss them. That's the thing. But like I say, Eddie Howe has now got a full week to work with the team and get that team playing well and scoring goals. And I'm sure they'll be practicing the shooting. William says, love the pun, Chris Banks. Yeah, Chris has always come out with some great ones, William. Alan says, it would take a catastrophic. Yeah, it would take something catastrophic to lose now, wouldn't it? I like Coffee says, we need our players to practice penalties too. Yeah, Well, he's second, but apparently we're so can Wilson, so we know that. Alan says, dip in form, not to make the top 8. Yeah, absolutely. I can't see that happening. Andrew says, Shakegate will play T-Rex because he's a duck egg. Fair enough, Andrew. But that's the way you got to see it, Andrew. That's the way you got to see it. Chris says, I couldn't resist. Yeah, you can never resist, Chris. No, it wasn't them two, Tony. Ah, right, okay. So it wasn't the dynamic duo, was it not? Hit that like for Tony and the Mighty Mags for their fantastic victory. Oh, thank you very much, Tanji. I hope you enjoyed the game tonight. I mean, it was a fantastic game. It's just fantastic that we've just got that win. We take it back to St James's Park. We got that precious 1-goal win. And we just need to kick on. We need to score early next week, I think. I think if we get an early goal at St James's Park, I think we kick on and we go through. We win easily. Because then that's then we're 2-0 up, and then we're a bit more relaxed about it. But at the moment, it's only half time, so we've got another 90 minutes to go, and then hopefully we get the comfortable win and we get through at the final, and that'll be fantastic. And then we're only 90 or 120 minutes away from silverware. So yeah, LA Coffee says we need the refs and VAR mics up so people can hear what's being said. Do you know what? That's a great shout, because I mean, you don't know what their conversation was tonight, but I just thought it was very, very poor. I still think the referee should have been sent to monitor for the Joe Linton one, even if there was a slight handball. But at least the referee could have made his own mind up then. Tanji says, I would like to mention that we need to try more long-range shots to be a bit more predictable. Yeah, I mean, against Fulham, Bruno had a couple of long-range shots, didn't he? So, yeah, it's just getting the other defence. Problem is, Southampton were trying to be too compact around their box, so weren't giving them a chance to have long-range shots as such. And William says, like the idea they make on wrestling, like in rugby, keeps the fans involved. Yeah, they do. Same in cricket as well. They do the same in that. The third umpire will ask the TV director, and say, right, okay, I want this view, I want that view. Can you give me a more zoomed in on view and things like that, so they can have a proper look. And that's the way it should be in football as well. LA Coffee says, Bruno got player of the match. Yeah, he did off Sky, yeah. Tanji says, I think we miss Shelby for the occasional long-range efforts on goal. Yeah, we do, Tanji. You're totally right. We do miss Shelby for that, because, I mean, he does have a shot on him. But shame he's out. I mean, does Shelby miss the League Cup final? Shall we get there? I think he does, actually. Or he may be back for it. I don't know. Interesting one, that, isn't it? Kong says, do you think Wilson's being played until the transfer window closes, as then he can't ask to leave if he gets dropped to the bench? Do you know what, Kong? That's actually quite a good shout. Actually, that is a very good shout, in fact. I don't really know. I mean, guys in the chat, I mean, what do you think about Kong's comment there? Do you think he's right? Do you think that's the reason why we are playing Wilson, because we don't want him to ask to leave if he gets dropped to the bench? But the next game's not a transfer deadline day, so even if he gets dropped to the bench next week, he can't ask to leave because there'll be no time for him to leave. So, but that's a very good shout, though, Nate. Yeah, that is a very good shout. I'm going to star that question. LA Coffee, Shaw made a pass similar to Shelby in the first half. Yeah, he did, yeah. Shaw's pretty great. Good on the ball, to be fair. Wayne says 1-0. Like I said, take them home and do the business. Yes, how are the lads? Absolutely, Wayne. Totally agree with that one. I mean, yeah. We have. I mean, what a great night it's been. I mean, you know, to win the first leg, that's what you want to win. It doesn't matter how you win the first leg. It's away from home, but you've got to win it. And that's the main thing. We won it. And, yeah, like I say, that's what you've got to do. You just got to win that away leg. But guys, if you like what you see, please smash the likes. It really does help the channel up the search results, so smash those likes. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Free to do so. Helps the channel grow, and bell notification tells you when I have a pre-record, a live show, or any upcoming shows as well, guys. So get into the comments. Green says Wilson's just not been dropped because Isak has not been fully fit. We have just offered Wilson extension. We wouldn't sell him. Stupid comment. Yeah, fair dues, Paul. Yeah, I don't think Wilson would be sold anyway. But like you see, he has got a new contract. So, yeah. Well, he's been asked to sign a new deal, hasn't he? Trolls, if Wilson can't take being benched, came on as a super sub. He needs to understand the best informed players play simple, in my opinion. Yeah, I did mention this the other day that I think in the summer we'll buy another striker. And then I think Wilson will be more of a bench player rather than the starter. But then he'll be like an impact sub. Oh, we need a goal. Actually, throw Callum on, he may get one. And, I think that's the way it'll be. Christopher says, don't think Wilson would want to leave NUFC regardless if he's on the bench or starting. He likes it, yeah. Yeah, he does, absolutely. Tanji says, I was impressed with ESM when he came on. He gave us that extra push to win the game. Yeah, ESM looked really lively when he came on, and I thought he was tremendous. Sorry, guys, I need a drink. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Gary said, don't think Southampton will be looking forward to coming to St James's Park next week. No, there won't be. Sorry, guys. Yeah. They won't look forward to it. And like I say, let's get an early goal against them and really put their backs to the wall. Miggy did well tonight, I thought. Yeah. Again, I thought Miggy did okay. Yeah, he did well. He was pushing forward, trying to get forward, and yeah, done really well. Oh, God, sorry. Knight says, don't forget they got an FA Cup game and think they'll play a full-strength team for that. So, bodes well for us. Yeah, I think so, yeah, definitely. Drink whiskey out of a long glass, Tony. No, that's not whiskey. No. That's not whiskey. Jeez, not that long of a glass. I wouldn't drink whiskey. Jesus. Got work in the morning. Willick Byrne looked tired. Longstaff did okay in spells, but definitely needed a more consistent upgrade. Yeah, they do. We will get that strength and depth eventually, guys, and it will come. Tanji says, I can't understand why you sell that another few empty seats for a semi-final. Yeah. You would have thought they would have had a full stadium, but just goes to show some fans aren't really in the mood for cup games, are they? But they're like that in Premier League games as well. So Julie says, don't think Eddie would ever sell Wilson. ESM was amazing. Best tonight, I thought. Yeah. I don't think we'll sell Wilson, to be fair. And yeah, ESM was absolutely brilliant when he came on. So was Isak. And they both played their part as well, guys. But yeah, guys, so we'll come to the end of the show, guys. But it's been a great show and a great win tonight for the Toon. And, we're 90 minutes from an not an FA Cup final, a Carabao Cup final, sorry. Get it right. So, we're 90 minutes from getting to a final for that trophy. Yeah, for that trophy alone. And that would be lovely to see Trippier. And it'll probably be Lascelles as well if he's still at the club, which I think he will be. They'll probably both lift together as Lascelles as club captain. But yeah, love to see we'll get our hands on that trophy in February. But be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it? Right, let's get into some more comments. Troll says, we won't sell Wilson or ESM, no. Wilson just looks frustrated and fatigued, says Tangi. Yes, he does. Totally agree. Great show, says Trolls. Thank you very much. Ali Coffee says, the pitch looked very wet today. It's always like that at Southampton. Yeah, it is. Chris says, great show, Tony. Thanks very much, Chris. Ian says, cheers, Tony. Good night, Trolls. Ali Coffee and Julie J. Good night to you, Ian. Thank you very much, mate. William says, some stadiums will never full no matter what the game. Yeah. Julie says, as I said on Toon Review, you won't see Maxi in Milan. No, you've probably got more chance of seeing Dominic Calvert-Lewin in Milan than you have Maxi. But he won't be playing for AC or Inter. He'd be on the catwalk. Bye, Tony and all. We'll watch your Stadium Tour video later. Thanks very much, Ali Coffee. Yeah, was a great tour as well. Great show, Tony, says William. Thanks very much, William. Bye, says Ian. Oh, sorry, Coffee to Ian. Bring on Tuesday, he can't wait, says Jody. No, absolutely, can't wait. Yeah, Troll says, good night, Tony. Gary says, great show, Tony. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, one thing before I read any more comments out in the rest of the comments, just to say, guys, that tomorrow night I will be joined by a special guest on my channel, and that will be at 7:30. And it's a professional sportsman who's a Newcastle supporter as well. If you're not familiar with the sport he plays, you may be familiar with the guy, you may not be, but this is a guy, and his name is Chris Dobie. He's a Geordie from Bedlington, and he's a professional darts player. Got the quarterfinals at Ali Pally, losing to Michael Van Gerwen. And he will be joining me tomorrow night. We're going to talk to him about his dart and also his love of Newcastle United. So we look forward to that tomorrow night. So that should be a great show. Tanji says, now we have a week to do some transfer window business. Yeah, definitely. As Fabrizio Romano says, he thinks we'll be the busiest club this week. Unless Chelsea go buy more players. Jody says, good night all. Good night, Jody. What's the next show? You've just seen it there, Ali Coffee. So there you go. That's the next show. Great show, Tony. It's coming home. Definitely, Sefton. It's coming home. Yes. We've never won the League Cup before, Sefton. So he has the first. Have you ever seen a Maxi in Milan? Never mind Maxi in Milan. Have you ever seen a Macam in Milan? There we go. Good night. Dartsman, lovely, says William. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Yeah. I'll be at work tomorrow night, but have a great show, mate. I'm sure you'll watch it on Catch Up, Sefton. I'm sure you will. Great guy, Chris Dobie. Hopefully joining you tomorrow. If not, I'll catch up with the stream. Oh, thanks very much, Jody. Yeah, it should be a cracking show. And yeah, I mean, if you get any questions in as well for Chris Dobie, I'm sure he'll answer them to the best of his ability. But yeah. But guys, on a fantastic night. Hang on. Wayne says, great show, Tony. Catch you and Dobie tomorrow. Thank you very much. William, Tony getting in the big boys. I've had Andrew Musgrove on before from the Chronicle. He's a lovely lad. He'll come back on again. And I've had Junior Turner on. If you haven't seen that, watch that on the catch up. That was a great watch. He wants to come back on again. And he's already got the challenge off me that if we get to a cup final, if we get the Carabao Cup final, he's got to do a cup final song. So let's see what he can come up with. And he sort of thanked me for that. But he would come back on here, so I'll get him back on here as well. And he might actually be, and if he's set up this time, he may be able to sing his Banks of the River Tyne live on the channel. So we'll find out. Anne says, good night, Alan. Christopher says, hi, I seen a Mackenzie in Milan. He was eating cheesy chips and pasta. Yeah. So, guys, on a great night tonight for Newcastle United, we've beaten Southampton by 1-0 with a goal from Joe Linton, assisted by Alexander Isak. We now have 1 foot in the final. We are 90 minutes away from the final. We do battle again next Tuesday at St James's Park. I think it'll be an 8 p.m. kickoff again, live on Sky Sports. The place will be buzzing. Let's go. Finish the job off, guys. Let's bang some goals in, and let's get to Wembley. And whoever we face at Wembley, let's go out there, give it our best shot, and see if we can come back with some silverware, which would be absolutely fantastic. But from tonight, it's good night from me. But like I say, away the lads, we're nearly there. Come on, one more final push, and we're going to Wembley. So tell me, ma, I won't be home for tea. Thank you, guys, and good night. Hang on, I've got another comment, I think. No, I haven't. Yeah, so that's great. Thanks very much, guys. Don't forget to hit the likes and the subscribe. So that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.